It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to the In All Fairness podcast.
This high-class Hollywood orgy.
Listen, go fuck yourself, your broken computer.
See you at the party, Richter.
Should I hold the button before putting it in my mouth or after?
Stick around.
Avengers Endgame. So I hated it, Martin loved it. We're going to debate about it.
Welcome back to things Gordon doesn't like. For context, I said this before to your fiance.
Yes.
But yeah.
Wife.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It worked. Yeah. Congrats, man. Yeah, when did this happen? No, Gordon, if you have ever listened to our podcast, doesn't like anything. The concept of joy is alien to him. And Gordon was made a film in final year of college, and I did the soundtrack for it. I wrote the music bit for it, and it was a sad song, and I couldn't come up with the title for it. This was 2015,
yeah.
And the trailer for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, had come out, and he was not happy with it. So the song, basically the sad song about this movie involving suicide, ended up having the official title of "Gordon is disappointed with the new Star Wars trailer."
Now, to be fair, I ended up liking Force Awakens. So there's a movie that I liked, but I was initially disappointed by the trailer. Whereas Last Jedi, I was really excited for and ended up being disappointed. Okay, so maybe I hate Endgame is kind of too strong. I was disappointed by it, but it kind of... And it wasn't the fact that I built it up in my head. I just have issues with it that I just can't let go. And I know people are like, "Oh, it's just a movie. Enjoy it for what it is." But there's just
honestly, the bad outweighs the good for you.
Yes, honestly, I literally did a pros and cons thing. Right, the beginning of the movie is fantastic. Not the Hawkeye. The Hawkeye bit is like, well, his family are dead. You kind of. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a spoiler review.
Yeah, put that in the title. Yeah.
So like my first inkling of like really is the whole film is saved by basically Ant-Man comes up with the idea, and if it wasn't for the quantum realm and all that, then none of it would be possible. So that means the whole universe was saved by a fucking rat.
By a rat?
By a rat.
How do you mean?
A rat somehow got into a locked van, crawled across the monitor, and happened to hit the right button that helped get Ant-Man out of the quantum realm.
Destiny is weird like that. There was one piece of rock had to smack into the earth at a certain time that wiped out the dinosaurs and allowed the universe to be saved in the first place as well. But you want to go back all the way here, like
but a fucking rat somehow got into the van.
That rat, Stanley.
It's Stanley.
That rat was Jack Kirby's spirit. The one above all, moving everybody across.
So moving on from that kind of awesomeness.
Well, no, it's not necessarily the universe was saved. It's just the previous thing would be undone. You could argue, if you were in favor of Thanos, that like they ruined everything.
So the kind of my main issue with the movie is that it undone a lot of character growth and a lot of stuff from previous movies, which I know you're meant to be moving forward, but it's like the first act of the film was I heard someone else describe it as like it was like a funeral. It was just mourning and just dour. And
I thought that was ballsy. I thought there was some cool stuff, like the 5-year gap, and to kill Thanos like almost immediately. Yeah, just show up and bam.
No, that like the movie really did take off. I was enjoying it up until
you know what I really liked is the scene of you got to see Paul Rudd actually get, not be comic relief for, the opening bit where he's walking around and his daughter's still alive and he sees his name on the thing. But when he stopped, "Hey kid, what happened here?" And the kid just looks at him and like brushes away a tear and rides away. It's like, that was a great little moment for acting. Like, well done to that kid. Yeah. It was atmospheric. I know, I quite liked it, and just it shows, you lost, deal with it. And it presented an interesting sort of thing that, like, now that Morgan Stark is alive, Tony's like, if I go back and fix everything, I will lose what I have now. Yeah. Is it worth that to me?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I get all of that was great, well done. Professor Hulk, when he showed up, was kind of like, okay, I can dig this. So where in your mind does the first act kind of end?
The first act?
First act.
are we saying there are 3 acts?
There's 3 acts in this. Yeah.
First act is everything is fucked. First act ends when Tony
Arrives back.
No, first act ends when Tony cops that
that he can do it.
That it can be done, and they decide they're going to do it. Second act is the time heist.
Yes.
Third act is the finale.
Yes. Okay. So in the first act, yeah, really my only issue with it was, the only thing that I didn't like was the fact it's a rat. A rat somehow got it. But I've got a crazy theory about that rat, and I'll get to it. I know. And I'll get to it at the very end.
There was a second rat.
There was a second rat. So the time heist. I must say, before this, one of the things that I liked was how they were working together. Like, I like the fact that they didn't, because our biggest fear, which we discussed off podcast, was that they were just going to have Captain Marvel show up and save the day and do everything.
Was be a Deus Ex Machina, yeah. I thought that was, I was worried that to set up their next line of stuff, that they would, I hoped they wouldn't do it, that they would give everything to Captain Marvel and sort of make her undo sort of the development of other people, just to, because she's going to be leading the next phase. Yeah. So they would use this movie to like prop her up even like to the top.
I don't think that she will be leading.
I thought
the
she
next
was
phase.
supposed to be the leader of the next stuff.
I don't think so. If she is, then she's foregoing some character growth there, where like the whole reason she wasn't on Earth for the majority of the movies because she's off in space.
Oh yeah, fixing
there's
other
other
stuff.
There's other. Well, having said that, I suppose there's more, because half the universe is back. Maybe she has more free time.
Yeah.
But Nebula really got great character development in it.
Yeah, this is sort of Nebula's movie in a way.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it, like, and I really like her like her and Rhodey is one of their interaction, their teaming and pairing. Because even when remember when the Benatar shows up first and Scott is out eating his taco and it just blows away.
Yeah.
And then
what's up, regular size man?
Yeah. but she radios Rhodey when she's walking in. She's like, "There's an idiot in the landing zone."
Well, what was interesting is that there's a lot of secondary. There's a lot. They got the runtime for this movie, and they managed to give pretty much every character a decent.
Not really.
Every character that wasn't snapped.
Yeah. Oh, every character wasn't snapped. Got a good bit of screen time, a good bit of development.
But people that are normally secondary characters got a bit more. Like Rhodey and her got quite a bit more.
But at the same time, it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel out of place.
Not at all,
because we've had other movies to kind of...
You know what's going on. You've already been set up.
You know
it's
these
22
characters.
movie arc. So
that exactly. That's another thing that worked really well for it, was the fact that you had all these characters that we've seen grow, and their place in the movie wasn't like, they're, except for Captain Marvel.
They didn't do the DC thing where like they didn't have to explain who everyone was.
Exactly.
They didn't have, like, this is Katana, you know.
Yeah. But no, the only character that felt out of place in this whole movie was Captain Marvel. Even with her movie.
I guess she's so new.
But her whole, like, Brie Larson's acting is just... I think, I can't really blame the actor. It's the directors that told her to be like that. Like, surely a director should come up to your actor and be like, look, you're kind of... She has no charisma. She's so bland. She's so fucking bland.
In the comics, she's not that way, as far as I remember.
In the comics,
she's
she
completely
is
different. No, in the comics, she's a bit more fun, and she's.
In the comics, she's more fun. Like, she's a whole.
Well, her and Cap. Well, I guess in the comics, her and Cap of the whole. They didn't reference that. They call each other Army Air Force. You know, she calls him Army, and he calls her Air Force.
Yeah.
So they don't have that.
Well, they're the only.
I know they've only just met, but that's. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, she seemed a bit more, because what I remember of her in the comics, she seemed a bit more sort of self-important in this. But I guess she was off screen for most of it, and I guess she's been out in the wars since the 90s. So
I think the whole first and second act really belonged to Paul Rudd. He owned everything.
He gave quite a good performance.
Yeah,
like because Paul Rudd is, you remember seeing him in Anchorman and I Love You Man and stuff, and even Ant-Man is a comedy heist,
but it is like,
and that's cool as well because his background as a thief, like it's
But his the whole conversation where they're trying to explain the time travel, where it's like they list out every movie.
Bill and Ted, Hot Tub Time Machine.
It's more like Bill and Ted than anything else, really.
The end is specifically. I think they get a reference to nearly everything in it.
But I love when Paul Rudd goes, Die Hard. No, that's another time. He corrects himself. So the first act is pretty solid. One minor gripe I have with it. Then moving into the second Where before the time heist, okay, so where it's kind of like a call. Its second act is like the call to arms, really, because they're all.
Oh yeah, it is the assembling.
The whole Ronin thing was really meh, more so than anything else.
Well,
like he's basically the Punisher.
Oh, he's the Punisher, and I like to think that the Punisher got snapped, so he
So he took up the role of the Punisher.
Yeah. Is that just the Yakuza, or could that be the Hand?
Oh, it's just the Yakuza.
It's just the Yakuza.
Yeah.
And he basically says, Omayo wa Moshinda you. Like for most of it.
Yeah.
Just wipes the note.
That guy has fought Hawkeye and Wolverine.
Oh, that's...
He's in the Wolverine, and he's like, what are you? And he's like, I'm the Wolverine. And he's in Westworld and Rush Hour 3. He's a fantastic... He was my choice for Shiro.
He's too young.
I know, but age him up, bald him, make him Shiro.
Right, yeah.
Anyway,
he's got that Toshiro Mifune swagger.
So we meet Thor in the second act, and he's now Fat Thor, and it's...
Well, yeah, he peaked, and then
He's on a
ruined.
downward.
Yeah. The new Asgard, they brought that in.
Yeah.
That's in Sweden, is it? Or?
No, in the comics, it's not Missouri or Connecticut. It's above some like.
Please drive safely. And...
Yeah, but it's. Oh, in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, in the movie, it's in like Scotland or something. Oh, maybe it is Norway.
Well, they have it's in English and in.
It was
Norse,
filmed
yeah.
it was filmed in Scotland.
But they're all
I think,
fishing
yeah.
in that. Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Well, they confirmed Valkyrie's alive, and they confirmed that Korg and
Meek. And
playing Fortnite.
Yeah, he's playing Fortnite. And
He's
like,
back. He called me a dickhead.
Yeah, I love that.
Fucking love Taika Waititi, man. I'm so happy he's doing the Mandalorian.
Basically he comes back because they got beer. When they're going about the time heist and what they're going to do, and it just cuts to him and like
Big Lebowski.
and he's like asleep in the chair with his hand on his pants, and then he gets up and he's giving his story of what the ether is.
Oh, he pays that character. He's like, yeah, the Dark Elves. Ooh.
Oh yeah, but not just that. You realise, he is the most tragic character out of every one of them.
Oh, he's completely
Like,
he's completely failed.
But because he's lived for thousands of years. He's seen his father die, his mother die, his best
finally
friend.
made up with his brother. And then he dies trying to save him. He gets Stormbreaker and manages to basically nearly stop Thanos, but one mistake makes he's the one that could have stopped the snap.
Yeah.
Doesn't work, and then he straight up kills Thanos. But it's just like fuck, like this
Too
unfixable.
late, yeah. So
Big Lebowski Thor.
then the time when the time heist begins, Loki's timeline is completely fucked now, which we were discussing before this, and you can debate on it, is whether or not Cap. You reckon Cap went back and fixed all the stones?
Until I see alternately, then yeah, he either put everything back because fucking what's it called, Professor Bruce Hulk says that you can't change the past, sort of, you know what I mean, that you have to, it's your future.
Yeah.
And while simultaneously, while they are in Avengers, when Thor is in Dark World, which is chronologically afterwards, Loki's still in prison.
Yeah, but they hadn't gotten to the time stone yet, so it wouldn't have changed the history. Also, Cap is told to put the stones back from the moment they didn't get the Tesseract during the Battle of New York. They got the Tesseract from the 1970s, from the base. Therefore, he wouldn't have gone near Loki. He wouldn't have interacted with Loki. He wouldn't have. Yes.
The fuck up with that is, how does the fuck up with the briefcase happen?
Hulk bursts through the door, and fucking Tony has the briefcase with Tesseract in it, and Hulk, because he hates stairs, which is another scene that got a lot of laughs, bursts the door down and knocks fucking Tony out accidentally, and the briefcase goes flying open, and it manages to be close enough to Loki where he just bends down, picks it up, and fucking vanishes.
So his moment. I'm okay with them altering that, but maybe
if they alter one thing in the timeline, it fucks everything up. They automatically deviate from the timeline and create alternate
literally all
timelines.
Captain America needs to do is stop that briefcase getting the whole way across the floor.
Yeah, how does he do that without fucking up the timeline?
He stops the briefcase getting all the way back across.
How does he do that?
He did it off screen, Gordon.
No.
He did it off screen. I didn't know because he used the power of truth, justice, and America to.
Okay, so I was going to get
used
into
America's ass.
He used America's ass. The whole thing with before the movie came out, it's been announced that there's some shows going to be happening on Disney Plus. Now I don't know if this is a way of Disney actually or Marvel Studios trying to prevent people figuring out the ending of the movie or that, because there is a Falcon and Bucky TV show coming out. There is a Vision and Scarlet Witch movie or TV show coming out.
Well, they can't do that.
Yeah. There is a Loki TV show coming out, which I reckon. Oh yeah, and there's also a Black Widow movie coming out, which I'll get to that as well.
That's probably the prequel then.
No. So I reckon that for the Loki TV show, it's going to have him be the Loki from the Battle of New York, and it's going to be him going. The series is basically going to be will be him realizing that he has to go back to that moment. Not just to fix the timeline, but events have to play out the way they should be.
Oh yeah, so
I also reckon
it can still be fixed, if you know what I mean.
My tinfoil hat theory is that Loki is the rat that was in the van that got Scott Lang out.
I would love that.
That would be yeah.
Can he shapeshift into
He can
things that are
shapeshift-
smaller than him?
Yeah, he's the fucking god of lies. He's the trickster. He turned. It said in the movie he can change into a snake.
Mm-hmm.
He changed into a snake and then changed back and stabbed Thor.
Man, that would be a great companion piece.
What?
Is that the Loki movie or TV show is oh god, I have to fucking actually go back and make sure all of this happens.
Yeah.
That would be quite interesting. That would be quite cool.
Well, yeah, but imagine you give it to.
That's the thing. It's still up in the air. It can still be fixed.
It could still be fixed, but at the same time,
to be seen.
If that theory proves to be correct, I'm a fucking genius. If it's wrong, then I'm wrong.
Or you're just smarter than them, Gordon.
So the really through the what you call her, the master, or not the master, what's her name, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, the ancient one.
It
was nice to see her again.
It was nice to see her
fucking
again.
love
It was
Tilda
kind of
Swinton,
cool.
man.
I like that they just plopped her into the Battle of New York.
She's straight up. I thought that she was going to separate the two of them.
Yes.
I was like, oh fuck. Oh no, it is one soul.
Yeah. But imagine if she did split the two. That would be so much better.
And then you have
the bit
that
where
one,
Hulk
then he would just run away, and then you'd have the two Hulks fighting each other. And be like, oh shit! How do we get them back together?
Also, I thought when she first separated them, the Hulk kind of looked a bit grey.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I could be wrong.
Jeez, she punched him and she got all of them. If she got
Yeah, all the different personalities would have been cool. But it's kind of cool to show that she was in the Sanctum Tournament and
5 years too late. She was doing
she was
some
just,
stuff.
Yeah.
She was. This isn't exactly our fight, but I'm gonna help out a little bit.
Cap fighting Cap was.
I loved it.
Was like.
Do this all day. I know.
It was also.
Bucky is alive.
It was also Cap's kind of movie as well, and a lot.
Oh, because everyone was like he had fuck all to do in Infinity War, so.
Well, not really.
He didn't do much,
one of my favourite moments in Infinity War was when Thanos is putting his hand down and Cap is just holding it up, and Thanos' face changes from smiling to what the fuck's going on here? And this dude has beaten everyone that stepped in front of him.
He smacked the Hulk up around.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of Hulk. Which Hulk does nothing really.
This is a gripe that I do have with this movie as well, but I do forgive it. But it is something I wanted to see that didn't get fulfilled. I am a massive Hulk fan. I've been a massive Hulk fan since I was 6 years old, and I wanted to see justice done for him getting smacked around in the opening of Infinity War.
Yeah.
He should come back, and he should beat the shit. But that's the thing. It's he couldn't be in Civil War because it's an instant win.
Yeah.
Is that. I think that if the Hulk had actually gotten near him, also because, I guess we've meant, spoilers, yeah, Scarlett Johansson's dead at this stage. He knows she's dead. He's mad about it. Him and his Hulk personality will be in agreement over that.
Yeah.
And she's the only one who can calm him down. That rage would go that's a deep rage. That's a sadness. And that would fuel him to be smacking the head off of... He beat the shit out of the big wolf, and he was smacking Surtur in the head.
Yeah,
so,
he was fighting, not a god, but he was fighting a world ender.
Yeah, so he could probably at least be a big it would be really hard for Thanos to be fighting the Hulk in that moment. They had to keep him away from him, I think. Also, if the building fallen on top of... Well, I guess he may have been weakened. The only thing... Like, his arm should have healed way quicker.
No,
I'll forgive it because it's a once-in-a-universe sort of thing that all the 5 would fuck him up, like. His arm will get better.
Here's the thing, it didn't fuck up Thanos when he used it first. When he used the gauntlet first, when he did the snap.
The gauntlet was specifically made, if you know what I mean. The gauntlet was, I guess you can the gauntlet...
No. When he used in Infinity War, when Thanos does the snap, it fucks up the gauntlet, but it doesn't fuck up his arm. It weakens him, but he had Stormbreaker embedded in his fucking chest. Yeah. Right? When he used it for a second time to destroy the stones, that's when all of a sudden now it can fuck him up.
That's a bigger thing to do, I think.
Yeah. So snapping to bring everybody back.
But I'm saying they used a different gauntlet. A gauntlet that wasn't made by the giant Tyrion Lannisters and...
I kind of jumped a bit there, but with the when they're doing the time heist, this time Scarlett Johansson dies, or Black Widow sacrifice herself. That
they had like too many fake outs.
That means nothing in this universe, though. It really doesn't, and I'll get to that.
My friend said the funny thing when we were watching it afterwards. He said that scene between Hawkeye and her about who's going to go over the cliff is supernatural personified. Yeah, it's just no you. Yeah. It went out like 5 times. Yeah. They didn't need to necessarily do that, but
well, no, I was okay with that. Believe it or not, I was like, okay.
He came up with a very interesting idea. Yeah, he's like, I wondered if they had copped like a loophole in the thing. They chucked the Red Skull over. He never says someone you love in that one. He says a soul for a soul. So they threw him over the edge. That would have been...
The fact that Hawkeye didn't know who that was as well.
Well, Hawkeye, why would he know who that was?
He's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Why would he think that that dude is just
S.H.I.E.L.D. Him or Black Widow didn't know who the Red Skull was. Yet they know who the Winter Soldier is.
Winter Soldier is more their time, and also the Red Skull is a guy that they assume is dead. He's missing in action.
He's MIA. He's
assumed dead, alongside Captain America.
Right. So that and the fact that Hydra were.
They got the little reference in where he pretended to be a Hydra agent. Yeah. Like, no, I'm Hydra.
Yeah. But Hydra would have.
And the elevator mirror scene. Yeah.
Yeah, everything about that scene was like the going for the gun, but he's just like, Hail Hydra, and he's out smiling. It was like, but yeah, no, she sacrificed herself to get the Soul Stone to come back, and Hulk drops to his knees and kind of hits the floor. Yeah, doesn't smash it, doesn't break, doesn't do anything. He's just like
he's holding it back, but I wanted him to release it at times.
Yes,
yeah, that was the thing.
And the pin particles somehow was able to not only get. So Nebula had one jump chance. Yeah. So back in the past, that kind of made no sense, because wouldn't Nebula of the present timeline know that past Nebula would be able to? They're on the same network.
I don't know, because she's kind
like
of
that whole thing
knocked about.
But that whole thing of how Thanos found out.
I thought that was fine. I thought that was a thing they couldn't have seen coming, because it is a neural link. He'd be getting it's in Primer. He gets the phone call to his phone. Yeah, but and he's like, was that supposed to hit my phone in the past? Yeah, you know, like it's.
But at the same time, like she wouldn't. Surely she would have been like, maybe I shouldn't go to this time. Like sending Thor back to Asgard, and sending Nebula back to.
I did love the big after that rabbit. Yes.
Was stupid.
Do you think they should have swapped around?
They should have swapped them around, yeah, for sure. Because Thor
she doesn't know Asgard, and he does.
True, but
he's literally the only one who does.
Yeah, I suppose I get that, but him going back to Asgard was a mistake. Like
on the other side of Natalie Portman's head.
Yeah, or his mum though. It's like eat a salad.
I've always wanted this. Yeah, Hayden Christensen.
I'm totally from the future.
I was wondering if he was going to throw a fucking Hayden Christensen reference at Natalie Portman. Like, he's seen her sleeping. Is like, I like watching you sleep, my lady. Like, so it's like a weird Attack of the Clones. Fucking Hayden Christensen. But
him getting back Mjolnir shouldn't have happened either, because he was not worthy at that point.
Yes,
he had given up on everything.
He was worthy.
How did he suddenly become?
He's like, I'm still worthy. No, the hammer decides. The hammer works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
It also knows, like, you're worthy because your job is to deliver this to a guy who is worthy. Yeah, It's his destiny working.
Nebula going back there, she shouldn't have gone back there.
She was the only one who knew it.
No.
She knew the place.
How did she know the place? She was never at that place.
She was hunting for it as well.
Yeah, but she
She
never...
knew who Peter Quill was.
She knew who Peter Quill was, and she knew where he was going to be.
Yeah.
Right? But she was never there on that planet. It was, what do you call him? John Hewson. He was the one that met Peter Quill there.
Oh, yeah. But...
Because I thought she'd go...
She knew about the Power Temple.
I thought she'd go for the Soul Stone. And she would sacrifice herself to bring Gamora back, not realizing that, well, it was pointless.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in a strange turn of events.
Well, I guess that's the other thing is that I know, sorry, I'm hopping forward, but the Gamora now that is existing.
No, we won't.
Okay.
No. So she gets captured and brought on the ship, and by right. So Thanos, she had one vial of pin particles. That was the whole thing they kept saying throughout the movie. We have one jump and one return. That's it.
Are you sure she had one?
We have one jump and one return. How does she have more? How is one person getting more than two? We know how Tony and Captain America managed it because they actually jumped back further in the past. They used their jump home to go back in the past to get more pin particles and the Tesseract because we're at the same place at the same time.
It's an indeterminate amount of time, so possibly Thanos found a way to reverse engineer the pin particle.
Well, probably, yeah. But she comes up to him and gives him the canister. She holds it out and looks up, and like after she takes the present time Nebula's part of her face off, the gold plate that she puts on, and she goes, "How do I look?" while holding up the pin particles. So she jumps back to the present with everybody else. Hulk uses the gauntlet, snaps.
She opens up the portal.
She opens up the portal, and suddenly Thanos' ship, his main ship, comes out up into the sky as it's regrowing. So maybe I could I suppose he probably reversed engineered it.
Ebony Maw did something with his sorcery.
Yeah. And then you have that moment where Hawkeye's phone is buzzed. Well, the Hulk uses it, does the snap, and even before that, what Tony says to him, whatever you do, just bring everybody that was snapped, nothing else.
Yeah.
So they're setting up that everything that 5-year jump is still canon. Now.
Yeah.
It's still 5 years.
But everyone
on.
comes back, yeah.
How convenient for Peter Parker, which I will get to.
What? We never saw who was snapped out of Peter's life.
Yeah, how convenient for Peter Parker that everybody in his life that is of import to his character and his character story arc.
The odds are literally 50-50, Gordon.
Yeah, so 50% of his friends.
Of the world.
Well, of the world. And they all happen to be...
There were whole villages wiped out in World War One because all the sons from that one village all got killed in the same day. Odds like that can happen.
That's different. That's like wiping out all the sons of one village. It would wipe out the whole entire village.
But they all got killed on the same day is what I mean, like by sheer chance. At different areas and different battlefields.
I don't know. I just think...
It's also... I hate using this defense. You let it go because it's a movie.
Yeah.
You know...
Well, fuck that. Just because that's a stupid fucking excuse.
I hate that excuse.
Especially
for
with
too.
with the quality of the movies that are coming out and the fact that everything is so neatly and tightly fucking done.
How much grey area plot holes can you allow? Do you like The Dark Knight?
Which one?
The Dark Knight.
The second.
The Dark Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
You'd watch it again.
Yeah, I've watched it a few times.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
There is mass plot hole in that movie.
There's loads of plot holes in that movie.
But you still like that movie?
Well, because everything kind of adds up. What's the plot hole in The Dark Knight that doesn't make...
Well, sorry to ruin The Dark Knight for everybody here, but Batman leaves the Joker in a room full of that party.
To save...
yeah, but he's still in that room with all those hostages.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And then they cut away, and you don't... Like, wait, what the fuck happened after that?
That annoyed me about it.
Yeah, but it's still a great fucking movie.
Yeah, but that's like one plot hole. I'm pretty sure there's more than that in the movie. But in Avengers and Endgame, there's so fucking much that's just coincidence or fucking happenstance or how there's too much. Like one
Destiny.
One or two is alright. Destiny. Here's fucking Destiny. They ruined Thanos.
How?
what was the one thing everybody said after Infinity War was the best thing about Infinity War was Thanos and his whole
Understandable motive.
arc,
Yeah.
his whole character. That all we've seen from him was just they turned him into a generic villain.
I don't think they did.
They totally did. And okay, people
They
argue.
change him. He literally sees himself die. He's like, I will succeed no matter what.
He
has a god complex.
He
even worse
sees
than that.
himself die.
Yeah,
But he says
but he knows he succeeds.
that's destiny fulfilled.
Yeah,
So then he comes back and he decides, no, I'm going to change all that. I'm going to wipe out the entire human race. I'm going to wipe out everybody and recreate the universe.
yeah.
Which is kind of like, his whole thing is about balance. That's not about balance. That's about wiping
Well, he says he changed his mind. He says, I realize that you will always fucking ruin this, so I'm going to make it so that you can't.
But they made him into like a fucking generic villain.
I did prefer him in Infinity War, but it was more about him in Infinity War, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he's missing for like 2/3 of this movie, really.
yeah.
But then when he does show up, it's just he's not the same. It's just not the same.
Well, he wouldn't be the same. He's at a
Plus,
different point in his life, and he's in
him
different...
and his the Black Order just murked everybody in Endgame. Like they came to Earth. They
Infinity War.
In Infinity War, they murked everybody. In this one, they're just reduced to nothing.
Well, they're far away.
What?
They're not all...
I thought you were making a Father Ted joke there.
No, but like, it's a big battlefield. That's how I can kind of forgive the Hulk's thing, but like, is that...
It's a big battlefield, but you still have Thanos and the 4 of his... Is it Black Order they're called? Ebony Maw.
Yeah. Big Sham.
Obsidian, something is his name. Black Swan. No, it's not Black Swan.
Evil woman.
Evil woman and evil man with cloak hood.
Yeah. So the rogue, the witch, the brute, and the mage.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Black Order, I think they're called. What the fuck is the rest of them? There's Ebony Maw is the only one we remember because he's your man.
Tom Von Laura, he's Nidge.
He's Nidge. But they're like formidable in Endgame, or not in Endgame, in Infinity War.
Yeah.
But in Endgame, they're just reduced to fucking minions, really. Like
No, they still fuck up everybody.
no, they don't, because one of them's taken out, but one-shotted by Okoye. Like literally just killed straight up. The Obsidian something is his name. Well, that's kind of cool. That's kind of understanding. He's blasted by Tony. No, he's about to kill Tony. Spider-Man webs him, pulls him back, and Giant Man stomps on him and kills him.
Yeah.
So it takes 3 of them to take down the one guy.
Cool. Oh man, I loved Spider-Man showing back up in this as well. That was a nice.
But okay, we're jumping way ahead, so we've got to go back.
Keep doing that.
So Hulk does the snap. He brings he says he brings them back. It's shown that he brought them back by Hawkeye's wife calling and Scott going outside and seeing the birds.
I thought they fucking killed him when the missiles
Oh, it's the
hit.
explosion. Yeah.
I thought, oh fuck, they just.
How
killed
did
him.
he? That's another thing. Like, okay, that's a cool shot.
He got really small.
Did he have time?
He got really small.
So then the building is falling on top of him, and Hulk's not able to hold that up. He should have been getting stronger. Like,
Yeah.
The angrier the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets.
But he's
with the death of
he
fucking.
got knocked out in Age of Ultron.
Well, okay, the Age of Ultron is not a good movie.
Oh,
It's a terrible movie. In fact, it ruins the Hulk
well,
in that movie.
He got a smack. He just had the forces of creation explode on his arm.
Yeah, but the angrier the Hulk gets, the stronger the Hulk gets. Which they've never. I suppose it doesn't exist in this universe.
Well, maybe that's the trade-off with the Professor in this canon is that he can't access that primal force of rage because, you know, like one of the things I used to love about the Hulk is like, it sounds so fucking pretentious, but there's genuinely like levels to.
Oh, there's so many.
There is a psychological aspect to him because a lot of his powers are literally fueled by a defense mechanism for an abused child. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He has ESP just in case he will ever encounter the ghost of his abusive dad.
Like,
so I guess he was wrecked, and he wouldn't have died there.
oh no, he wouldn't have died there, but he should have fucking been able to save everyone that was there. Like, okay, Rhodey, it isn't right. Rhodey hops out of his suit. He saves Rocket, who's pinned.
Yeah.
Scott's on his way down, and then we don't see them for a while. We see Hawkeye running through the rubble, that was cool.
That was cool. Sorry, Splinter Cell.
And then Nebula is basically present Nebula is saved by past Gamora, and present Nebula kills past Nebula, shoots her, kills her.
Yeah, see, this is where the timeline thing is like.
Okay, so in this is kind of one of those instances where it's like, okay, in order for her to die,
It's an alternate universe.
it has to it kind of has to happen.
How do you mean?
See, I'm okay with Thanos from the past coming to the present and dying in the present, because it all happened because it's a loop. It's a continuous loop. It will always happen. This was always going to happen. And it ties into a Gambit comic book of all things.
You had to bring it back to that.
I had to bring it back.
I get to bring it back to Star Wars now at some stage.
In his first ongoing, Gambit travels back to the past using Doctor Doom's time machine. And the reason he goes back to the past, and he brings his friend Courier with him, and the reason he brings Courier with him back to the past is because there's a picture.
Oh, you told me this before.
Which his father had a picture, which he took as his father's like.
And Gambit's in the background.
Gambit and Courier in the background. So the only reason he goes back, the whole reason he goes back in time, is because he's already been back in time. So it's a continuous kind of loop. It was always going to happen. He was always going to travel back to the past, and he was always going to come back to the future. So,
yeah, it's
because of that in the comic book,
fixed.
It's a fixed point. So I kind of get that's how Thanos, and the fact that Doctor Strange was only ever going to be one outcome. I believe he saw the outcome. I don't think he saw how they were going to do it.
Oh, but he knew that he had to
let
the snap happen.
He had to let the snap happen. That
certain people had to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great moment when it's like
don't jumping ahead. So that I'm okay with. Which is weird, I know, but everything that happened with the time travel stuff I'm kind of okay with, except for they allowed Loki to fucking escape.
They had bigger fish to
But
fry.
that specifically, because that, when the Ancient One is talking to Bruce and Sean, this is what happened, you take one of the stones out, this is what happens.
That might be set up, man.
And then but that's why
that's
think
what
maybe,
Phase 4 is.
I know.
And we still got Far From Home to...
Well, Far From Home was the end of Phase 3.
Yeah, which is weird that that's the end of Phase 3.
Well, it's kind of an epilogue to Avengers, really.
Yeah, so there'll be some loose ends tied up, I'd imagine.
So the final battle, it comes down to basically Thor, Cap, and Iron Man fighting Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
And
after they've had a building dropped on them.
After they've had a building dropped on them. But Thor's okay. He's just standing there watching Thanos.
Yeah, with the eyes glowing.
Well, they don't glow until he grabs both hammers.
He summons up the lightning.
Yeah. Why doesn't he use the lightning?
He does.
Thor does not strike down Thanos with lightning once. Ever.
Does he not hit him with a few lightning blasts?
No, he hits him with the hammers.
Maybe
Do you know who hits him with lightning blasts?
Oh, Captain America.
Captain America.
But that
How?
was cool, though.
But the whole thing with Mjolnir, it was said in Thor Ragnarok was...
Whosoever wields this hammer shall have the power of Thor.
Right.
Michael Carpenter.
Yeah, I forgot that bit. Because he said whoever was this hammer. Okay.
Well, that's always been a thing as well. Like in the comics, like people have taken almost the Thor mantle, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, there's been a few people like Jane Foster.
Yeah. Which
I think they were going to give to Valkyrie, but they kind of didn't. That would have been cool.
I don't know where she got her horse from as well.
Yeah, but that I don't care about that.
That was such a Led Zeppelin cover.
Yeah.
That was,
well, that from Thor Ragnarok, but the
but it's literally like something off that. That's like
but
proper.
The redid it in this. That's one. Okay, so everything up to this point, I was kind of like just nitpicky bits with like the Loki thing and the rat. I was just like, but I was like, no, Loki is the rat. But the whole third act for me was just.
The fight? You didn't like the fight?
I didn't like it.
Really?
The whole the first two acts were okay, I'll let this slide, I can let this slide. The whole fucking third act.
Oh man. When he's getting a shield beaten away from him.
He fucking picking up Mjolnir, or you see the camera come back.
Fantastic.
Was
the cinema went silent and cheered.
Cheered, yeah. But for me, that was like, okay, he's picked up. They've been hinting at this since fucking Age of Ultron. And even when Thor goes, I knew it. I was like, yeah, that's
then get kicked in the face.
No, that's another callback to like, it was like, because there was someone I was with and they were like, what did he mean by that? And I was like, well, in Age of Ultron, he's like, oh, did he move the hammer? No, I didn't. No, clearly he didn't move the hammer. Yeah. So that's been on his mind for years. Like, I fucking knew it. when the hammer comes back to him and he grabs it and he's beating the shit out of Thanos with it, I'm just like, that was literally like, yes. Chris Evans could play Michael Carpenter.
Yes. Yes, he can.
Yes.
With the beard.
With the beard and
With
the long hair.
With the beard, yes, he can, but he needs to be a bit older. But yeah, he
And
could.
bulkier, maybe.
Stop talking.
Stop talking.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to Dresden Files Part 3, everybody.
No, for me, okay, so that happens, he gets beat down, the shield is taken away, and then he has him stand there, and you have Sam saying, on your left, which is another call
That was
back
cool.
to... Yeah.
And then the fucking, what do you call it? Light bright comes.
Yeah.
The spinny firework.
The first people to come through are Black Panther.
Yeah, it opens a
Wakanda.
portal to Wakanda, so it's the
Yeah.
Wakandan army comes out, like.
Yeah. And then you have the Guardians and Spider-Man.
I was gonna say I was surprised that they didn't bring is it Xandar?
Yeah, the Nova Corps.
But they're all wiped out. It's mentioned in that's how he got the Power Stone.
He wiped out half of them.
He showed up and obliterated them all.
Half of them.
Oh, but they weren't snapped, so they wouldn't come back with it. No, but they're still crippled, I guess.
They'd be crippled, but still, there was spaceships there, and I'm like, where the fuck are
No,
those?
they're Wakandan ships.
No, there's spaceships as well.
Oh, maybe that was Nova Corps then.
No, they weren't the Nova Corps ones. There was spaceships. See, a lot
Ravagers?
happens where you're kind of like, what the fuck are they?
Ravagers?
Huh?
Ravagers?
Could be Ravagers, actually. No, because maybe. Everybody showing up was kind of cool, and it kind of fixed one thing that I didn't like about Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man, and it clicked with me kind of in it. Every time he's in the spider suit and he's showing his face, he's not really acting like Spider-Man. I'm like, that's not Spider-Man. And then I'm like, oh, he's not Spider-Man until he's in the full costume. That's why you know what I mean?
Insta-kill mode.
Yeah. Oh, insta-kill mode. I can do this.
The relay race with the gauntlet was class.
The relay it was, but they really fucking undersold Black Panther.
I thought he had a great run.
He had, it was great, but they should have given him more. And there was another call back there to...
Well, they have to balance everyone
to
as well.
Civil War. Where
I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, my name's Clint, I don't care. Or he's like, Clint, give me the gauntlet. I was like, oh yeah, go. That was kind of the end of Clint's story, really. Arc, and that was when he gives the gauntlet to Black Panther.
But he is such a good power for running and gunning.
Who?
Black Panther does to absorb energy and reverse it, like, and he's also like his thing. Oh, I guess though, he could be killed there.
Who?
Black Panther could be
Killed.
The suit is made of vibranium.
Yeah.
We saw whatever Thanos has.
Oh yeah.
Cuts up vibranium.
But that's his sword can do that. We don't know of everything that they have. How is everyone talking to each other?
Gordon, there are whole legions of wizards. Whole legions of wizards that are.
They can't psychically talk to each other. They can open up shit. But how I get how the Avengers and they actually went out of their way in Age of Ultron to show the earpieces going in. So I get how they are all talking to each other. How is Valkyrie able to talk to Captain America when she's up and she sees the van?
Her voice is very loud. Man, I could hear Valkyrie wherever she was.
That's okay, but get back to everybody's.
She's
a great
voice.
Arrived.
She's really good looking as well.
That's not a
I'm
superpower.
so gay for Valkyrie.
Yes. Right. Anyways, back,
is it not?
Shut up. Back to everybody's arrived.
Yeah.
On it, right? Captain America says, "Avengers assemble."
Yes.
For the briefest of moments, I was like, "Yeah!" And then I heard a guy behind me go, "They're already there. Why is he saying assemble? They're already assembled." I was like, "Oh my god! You just ruined that moment for me. You're right. Why the fuck? What if?"
It's a pep talk.
No. What if, right, when he's standing, that's a beautiful fucking
it's
scene.
the rule of cool, Gordon.
When he's standing there, it's kind of like the Valkyrie scene from Ragnarok. He's standing there and you see Thanos's, like, it's a wide shot, and he...
Turn of the King.
I fucking, like, I never thought that one of my favourite characters would be Captain America, because of the way he's written, kind of like... But Chris Evans' portrayal of Captain America, it's the same with Wolverine. The only reason I like Wolverine is
I think Chris Evans could be near Christopher Reeve in terms of perfection in casting.
Yes. Definitely.
I would put that on the same level.
I don't think anybody else can play Steve Rogers Captain America like him. They could never recast that role. He is perfect. Like he went from
is
being
the Marvel Christopher Reeve.
pretty much.
That dude is the dude.
But when he's tightening the shield and he's like there's a whole army in front of him and he's walking. But when he hears Sam say on his left, if they just said we're all coming, we're all on our way.
No, but that
if they had
rule
left
of cool.
it, no,
Rule
it
of cool.
wasn't. If they just
that's for the audience. That's for like what the fuck. Yeah, that's and then holy shit, this is great. This is what I paid for.
But when he's standing there, imagine if there's no one behind him and the hammer comes. He's like Avengers, and the hammer comes back and he grabs it exact same way. There's no one. Then everything fucking they just come running out.
It's cool either way. That might have been.
No, because they
Gordon.
did the whole fucking posing shit. I hate that's the one gripe I have with all superheroes.
Most of it though is posing.
But
they even make fun of it in Deadpool.
No, I know, but it's again they're making fun of it. It's not cool. It's well, not that it needs to be cool, but the whole thing of okay, we're all coming. Thanos' forces suddenly all just stop. They're all marching forward towards Captain America, and they all stop to wait for everybody else to come through. Like, oh, these are so cool.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening?
Fuck that shit. Fuck that movie in the ass for that. Fuck it.
No,
yeah,
Gordon.
There's
more machine now than that.
The whole Avengers Assemble line, fuck it. I was waiting for that for years. I was looking forward to it. And
you ruined that yourself.
I ruined that.
You have done that yourself.
So, the fight takes off and
you
it's like...
turn them against me.
Like, and then there's the whole interaction with Cap and Thor where they're fighting. He's with Mjolnir and they switch the hammers around. It's like, no, you take the little one. Give me the big one. Even though Mjolnir is like more powerful, I'd say. Well, maybe
no, Stormbreaker's more powerful.
Yeah.
Stormbreaker straight up resists the gauntlet.
Yeah. Tony and Peter hugging was fantastic. Again, it was but the moment he hugged Peter Parker, I was like, oh, he's dead.
Well, I knew that they were gonna. It was one or the other they were gonna kill forever. It was
either going to be Cap
or
him. But
I thought it was gonna be Cap.
No.
I straight up thought it was, but then I was like, you know what? Robert Downey Jr. is getting a bit older. He is the patriarch of this series. It all began with him. It would be such a fitting end for him.
No, really wouldn't.
Oh, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine.
I think it was in the moment. It was perfect.
Fine for it.
But him looking over Doctor Strange and the silent
the finger, one finger going up.
Now, yeah. He robbed the fucking.
But before we even fucking get to that,
Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers scene where like okay, so
he splits his head off for haircut like.
Well, no, everything, all the cannons are firing down. No, sorry, even before that bit that just was fucking awesome was when Scarlet Witch.
Remember me, asshole?
No, I didn't say that. When Black Panther's running, the next thing he's over and Thanos is about to get the gauntlet off him and he just gets fucking blasted away. I'm like, what? And then she shows up. She's like, you took everything from me. He's like, I don't even know who you are. And she's like, you will. And that scene was fucking brilliant. It was amazing. I really, really like that. That after the whole disappointment of Avengers Assemble, I was like, yes, I'm back in this. And she is fucking him up.
Oh, she is. Yeah.
She's ripping the armor off him. She's nearly killing. And he
tells him that you need to do the fight. Yeah.
We're going to kill. And it's not Ebony Maw. Is it Ebony Maw?
Oh, he says, yeah, Maw, do the fucking.
No, who's Ebony Maw?
It is Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw is
on
Nick.
the ship, like yeah. Knows the snitch. Voldemort.
Knows the Voldemort. Something Bane. Something Bane. Banefire or something like that.
No, that's Dresden. You know, he's Scorched Earth. He's like
But the other guy, Corvus Glaive is his name. Corvus Glaive is like, but our men, sire, and he's like, I don't care. He doesn't care, and they're wiping him out, right? So the reason why he's wiping him out is because like these are all fucking powerful. All of a sudden, his cannons stop firing on everybody on the ground and start firing into the sky.
We all knew it was coming. We knew they were going to do it. Yeah. We knew they have to build her up.
Oh, they didn't. Not only did they
had to do it for the
entrance. Build her up. They made me lactose intolerant the amount of cheese in this fucking thing. So they're basically saying that she is more powerful than every fucking superhero. She is the most powerful being. At that moment in time when she arrived, she is a bigger threat herself than everybody else on the ground.
I was genuinely afraid.
You have the God of Thunder
Deus Ex.
yeah.
Well, he's not at full strength. Remember,
He is.
Devil's Advocate here. I was genuinely afraid they were going to give absolutely everything to her. There's like you were gonna at the 11th hour fuck this up by to set up your next generation. Just doing like a lazy Deus Ex Machina that she would show up, rip the gauntlet off him, and do everything right. And they were getting close, and I was like, oh no. Like she took the ship out. Now,
But she did that in her own movie, so
yeah. But even then, I was a bit annoyed at that in her own movie. But Thor and Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk could have taken the ship out himself. Like
Hulk did nothing in the battle, only smack people about and tell them not to destroy the gauntlet that they needed to get it through the time portal.
yeah, the Hulk was nerfed in this, but
Big
I
time.
forgive him. I forgive it because I enjoyed the movie so much. But her bit there, I was genuinely like, oh no, they're just gonna give it all to her, aren't they? They're just gonna be like, she comes in and Deus Ex Machina. It's like really after all this. But then when she took the headbutt off him, I was like, you know, her haircut like smacked him in the head.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, this is gonna be, and she was holding it back off of him. But then they checked themselves, like, listen, you ain't a Mary Sue. Like, I popped out the Power Stone and smacked you in the head with it. There are still rules in this universe. Like,
Actually, sorry, I was saying when when Tony's back in the past and he meets his dad and have the conversation, that's when I knew he died. He was going to die, and then when he hugged Peter, I was like,
I loved that scene.
he's
though.
definitely going to die.
It was cool that they got to shoot. They
And they brought Jarvis.
Redford back.
Yeah.
Robert Redford got
They
to
brought
be-
Jarvis back.
Yeah, original Jarvis.
But sorry, the battle. Yeah, I'm fucking Pepper Potts. I'm like, fuck off.
I think that's a contractual thing for because Gwyneth Paltrow, like,
Oh, she's rescued. Now she's suddenly putting on the armor and able to fly and fight. Okay, I get there's 5 years. He would have shown her how to fly.
He fixed her like fire powers, didn't he?
Oh yeah, they did that at the end of.
They
Iron
might
Man
have come
3.
in handy there.
They would have come in real handy there,
But-
but she couldn't control them. I think.
I guess yeah, but you never saw her use the armor before. It was just a mention that I'm building this thing for your mom, and then like the whole thing's
But
assembled.
I think it's different armor that she's wearing. So like, cause the mask that Morgan wears is blue
Yeah.
and silver. I don't think
What's
her
her
suit.
What's her name? Iron Maiden?
No,
that'd
Rescue.
be a great name for her.
Rescue.
Oh, Rescue is her name. Yeah.
Well, I don't think she's given an official name, but but the fact that she shows up is okay. I get that, but
I think
they
what's
keep
fighting,
showing her fucking face.
what's fighting there is more so the AI in her suit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Has the training and has the yeah.
Well,
Well,
surely-
it's the same with Tony.
Surely Tony could have had like the Iron Legion just show up.
No, he blew them all up, didn't he?
No, he blew them up in Iron Man 3, and then in Avengers: The Age of Ultron, he has the Iron Legion.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess there's only
There's no need
so
for Pepper Potts to be there at all,
There's
other
only
than
so
Gwyneth
much
Paltrow's
money.
like, I'm going to be in this movie.
Well, maybe they needed to bring
Fuck
her back.
off.
They needed to do
That's
that.
what she needs to do, is fuck right off. Okay, so we get the whole
I forgive it.
Peter gets the gauntlet off of Black Panther. There's another callback there when Cap is like, when he's doing the insta-kill thing, he's like, I can't do this, and Cap is like, hey, Queens,
Yeah.
and flings Mjolnir and he latches onto it. How cool would it have been if it was just his hand grabbing onto it, like Peter, Spider-Man with Mjolnir. And then Carol shows up, saves the day.
She does the save the day. She
Well,
makes
takes
a
out the
dent.
ship.
She
She takes out the ship.
She doesn't
And she
kill
comes
Thanos.
down, takes the
If she had
gauntlet.
killed Thanos, it would have been far too much for me.
But when she's like, I'm not alone, and Scarlet Witch, and all the women show up and they do the whole posing thing, and it's just all the female characters. I was just like, oh, Disney, no.
It was a bit on the nose.
How cool! It wasn't that it was on the bit on. It was fucking breaking your nose. It was like that scene from Family Guy where the guy is like with the wallet with the "here's my kids" and slamming it into a guy's face. Look, the picture of my kids. That's what that fucking was. Immediately, I would have been like, would have been so much better if it had her take the gauntlet and start going with it. And as she's going and people are attacking her, having her fighting them off, but having all the same female characters show up and beating everything that's in her way.
That would have been a cooler shot.
Rather than just having them stand there.
Ultron,
And then,
when they're all fighting the Ultron things are all together,
Yeah.
throwing them around. Actually, that would have been a way cooler shot.
Wouldn't
Instead of the zoom out. Yeah.
it would have been. It would instead of the posing and the in your face and the whole thing of Pepper landing
yeah.
and her fucking mask opening and
less
then
less
you know,
posing, more action.
yeah, exactly.
A little less
And
conversation. A little
having
more
the
action.
exact same moment, but
Yeah.
just don't have the pose, and having all the female characters show and just kicking everybody's ass in front of them.
Actually, that would have been better.
Yeah.
That would have been better. I'm still fine with it. Again, I
Corvus
forgive
Glaive is one-shotted by Okoye as well. She literally just stabs him through the heart and kills him.
it. Vibranium.
no, that's okay. But this dude has taken down Captain America. And the only reason he was killed is because Vision fucking sneak attacked him from behind.
We don't know how much. It's the heat of battle. You get lucky.
There's
a lot going on. He could have also been weakened as well. He's probably not a full
He
power.
was weakened in fucking Avengers Infinity War. He wasn't weakened during this battle. She just, a human, straight up just fucking takes him out. A guy who went toe to toe with Captain America, fucked up the Vision as well.
Just got lucky.
Like the thing about the battle is it's too quick.
It's too quick. It was like an hour long. Like it went on.
Was it really though? Like there
went on
was
for ages.
a lot of people. It was just so. A lot of people were just forced in there. There wasn't okay.
Well, everyone has
Peter
to have a
Quill
moment.
gets his little fucking moment.
Oh yeah, he gets to be shooting things.
He's there for 5 minutes.
Drax gets to stab people in the back.
Drax and Korg teaming up got a great cheer as well.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like he's stabbing the thing in the back and Korg is there shooting at it. Valkyrie had a couple of cool beats in it as well.
Yeah.
But it
on the
just,
TriStar logo, smacking people around the place.
I wanted more fucking Black Panther kicking ass. I wanted more of Scarlet
I was
Witch
surprised they
and-
did not give him more.
Yeah.
Although he had a great run. But
But not really. Like it didn't. It could have went a bit longer. There could have been more character moments during it. Like the Hulk gets fucked
I was
off.
very surprised at that.
I
Like
was
that's always
so-
going to be the sticking
And
point
Thor
for
got
me.
fucked off. Once the fight with Thanos was over, he had the moment where he switches hammers with Cap, a little comedic beat. But that's
Well, I guess they had to set it all up, but then Tony robs the thing. He gets an awful smack off him, but he snaps. I am inevitable. Takes the snap.
yeah.
But he robbed the jewels off him. Oh, it's such a good moment.
Well, it's
I-
not.
Iron Man.
It's really not.
Oh, I loved it.
Because the whole thing of he's trying to snap his fingers and the power gauntlet is okay. So I'm giving you that the fact that it's not the Infinity Gauntlet. It's the Stark Gauntlet. How many times has he tried to snap his fingers and he's having trouble because all the power of the stones is making his arm tremble and all that. Yet all of a sudden he lifts up his arm and is able to snap his fingers no problem, and he doesn't realize, wait a minute, something's not right here until he snaps his fingers. Think about it.
Heat of battle.
No, he gets the gauntlet on.
Thanos
tries
is
to stop
sure
it.
of himself.
No, he's a fucking idiot, dude.
That Thanos had never worn the gauntlet.
No, true.
That Thanos had no idea.
That's not the issue. The issue isn't that he snapped his fingers. The issue is every time he tried to snap his fingers previous to that, he had the power of the stones all going down his arm, and even the Hulk had trouble snapping his fingers, for it to happen. And it's completely different to the original gauntlet, right? But he fought everybody off. He has these moments where he's like, I am inevitable. Where it's like, just snap your fucking fingers already. Right? Oh, hang on. He snaps his fingers. No problem. There's no power surging down his arm. There's none of that. And he doesn't realise, why isn't my arm
At
surging?
what point did that version of Thanos ever wear?
He should have been like, I am inevitable. Look at his hand and realise the stones were gone. Instead of even clicking his fingers. That was just fucking stupid. I was like,
No, it's a fake out. I forgive that.
everybody knew it was a fake out. He should have known before the audience knew. He should have been like, wait a minute. And Tony, I am Iron Man, is kind of like, okay.
I was fine with it. It's poetic. It's like poetry. It rhymes. You know,
It
like
was just, for me, I just was emotionless to it. I was just like, okay, he's dead.
Well, that's just you.
Well, exactly.
You know, I just think they did it. I think well done.
No.
For a 22 movie arc, well done. You pulled it off. Most people, it has the largest box office opening in history.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in a long time I've heard applause in a cinema.
Really?
Yeah. In a very long time since I've heard it. The last time I heard applause in a cinema might have been
Endgame.
Force Awakens.
Endgame when everybody dies.
Well, that was gasping. But yeah, people were invested in that. But the last time I heard applause in a cinema, it was probably Force Awakens on opening night.
Mm.
Maybe Rogue One, actually. I can't remember.
Rogue One, man, when
At the
Vader,
end.
yeah.
But
There were people crying at Avengers.
oh yeah,
Endgame.
I heard people like crying over.
I was
Iron Man.
crying, but for different reasons. They fucked it up. Fucked.
I do not think they fucked it up. I enjoyed that movie so much.
I don't like the third act in the movie at all.
I love
There's bits that I like, and again, but I wouldn't rank it in my top 10 Marvel movies.
I would.
I'd
Top 10? There's only 22. You don't think it makes the half cut?
No.
Really?
It's lower half, man. It's lower
Really?
tier. Top 15. It's outside.
What?
Yeah.
Well, Gordon, everyone has opinions, and in this case, your
I'm
opinion
wrong.
is wrong.
No, I just haven't like I
No, you're entitled to be a spiteful nerd.
the fucked up Thor story arc. The Hulk was pointless. Maybe it's just outside top 10 for sure, but it doesn't break my top 10 for Marvel movies. It is a tall order to try and you can't please all the fans all the time,
No, and you can never please Gordon.
and you can never please me. In fact, like 20 of Marvel movies are outside my top 10.
It's a single Marvel movie inside the top 10.
It's one that hasn't been made yet.
Yeah.
Like Endgame, I thought Endgame was better.
That is a tough question. I think
Having
in the
said that
fullness of time, I'm going to have to think on that one.
There's a lot of stuff.
Endgame might have been more impactful because
There's a lot of stuff
It
that they had to
failed.
get through though. I suppose. Like I can argue with myself over it, if you know what I mean. They had a lot to get through, and when you're dealing with time travel, it is very, very
Tricksy.
tricky. I didn't feel the 3 hours runtime. It's not.
No,
It's
neither
not
did I.
3 hours long. It's like 2.5 hours long.
is it?
Yeah, like
I knew-
the credits are like a long.
I realized
long
it
portion.
was long, but yeah, I think they needed the
The
runtime
first
and
the
they
first
used
third
it well.
kind of dragged a little bit too much.
It was long for it. It felt like 2 movies.
The second act was rehashing a lot of stuff, and then the third act, that battle was for the time allotted to it. They could have done more with it. Like
Yeah,
I
but
would have liked to see more character moment, like more characters get to run with the ball a bit more, so to speak. Like the Infinity Gauntlet throw about, we got to see 4 people run with it: Hawkeye, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel. Spider-Man kind of didn't really need that moment in the movie. Another character could have gotten the Spider-Man moment.
no, but give it a Spider-Man, man. Everyone likes Spider-Man.
True, I suppose. Hulk did nothing in the final battle. Really.
That's the
Nothing Hulk
But if
worthy.
Hulk did anything in the final battle, it would
Hulk
have been over.
should have had his moment with fucking Thanos.
He should have smacked Thanos. He should have like surprise uppercutted Thanos.
Yeah.
He should have Loki'd Thanos.
Huh?
Puny Titan. I am inevitable. Just done
Oh.
smacking him around the place.
He should have. That's-
No, Hulk should have been. Well, no, actually, Scarlet. I'm fine.
When Tony and Thanos are fighting over the gauntlet, Hulk should have just fucking landed on fucking Thanos,
and sort of punched him into the ground.
punching him into the
And it
ground.
would have taken the Power Stone to knock him off of him.
No, it would have taken
All of
of them
the gauntlets,
to,
yeah.
to just get, or not even that, and realize that Tony had it at that point. Like, I suppose you had to get Thanos out of that kind of predicament with the Hulk. They really undersold the Hulk, but they've undersold the Hulk in every Marvel movie.
Except Avengers Assemble. Because that was when I finally got what I'd wanted as Hulk fan
Avengers
for years.
Assemble.
Went go off and just ruin everything, and
Yeah.
he's like, "You don't even really need the rest of us. You need
Yeah.
us to turn that thing off. Like, eventually, this guy's gonna win.
Yeah, yeah.
Eventually, the Chitauri, you're like, you know what? Fuck Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck. This guy lives here.
Yeah.
Fuck going here. What do we want? What do we want that is worth getting the head smacked off you by the Jolly Green Giant?
Yeah.
Ho ho ho. Hulk smash.
That and Ragnarok kind of got him. Well,
Yeah.
there's a new version of the Hulk.
Oh, it was
in
perfect for him.
Ragnarok.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh, I get to smack people around every day.
But like Iron Man should not have been able to fucking take out the Hulk,
Knock him out.
knock him out.
Well, he got him in a moment, an emotional moment.
Motion, but he dropped
He
the building
emotionally
on
knocked
him.
him out.
He dropped the building on him and knocks him out with a punch. He gets out of the building and he's fine. Building dropped on him, explosions, blah blah blah. He gets out of the rocks and rubble. He looks around in all confusion and he gets knocked out by a punch.
He's got quite a bit more of an like him in Avengers Assemble. He's a far darker character. In he's like straight up like, I attempted suicide. I
Yeah.
cannot kill myself.
Yeah.
Like it's.
The other guy spits it out.
He's also a lot cleverer in that one as well. But in this one, he's kind of moved on. And he's just become a very chill guy.
No,
He did yoga.
No, in between Ragnarok and Endgame, they've turned him into an annoying fucking character.
I don't know. Well, he's got
Bruce-
brain damage probably. Like
Bruce Banner is so fucking annoying.
no, I'll always love him.
In Avengers, the Infinity Gauntlet, the bit where he's in the suit and the suit opens up and he's like, you're so screwed now. It's like, shut the fuck up. He's become me, that annoying nerd.
But he is a nerd.
He's not though.
Of course he is.
He
wears glasses. He wears glasses and works in a nuclear plant and does math.
And they're like, how did you and Professor Hulk become one? It's like, I just went into the lab for 18 months and worked with Gamma.
Oh, we worked all our stuff out.
Yeah.
I think they had we'll have a conversation, and they did. So he had his Doc Samson moment.
I want that would have been cool. Him
If they
showing
threw
up
in
Ty
Doc Samson.
yeah, he's already appeared.
Has he?
Yeah, Ty Burrell played Doc Samson in Incredible Hulk. There's a scene cut from the movie where you've got Bruce Banner sitting down with him. He's the guy who's dating Betty. Ross.
Oh, Phil from
Modern Family. Yeah.
Oh.
He's Doc Samson.
Oh.
The leader's out
Man,
there
if
somewhere.
he played him as Phil, that would have been perfect.
I don't watch that show.
Tell me about
but I watch
Phil
him.
Dunphy's. Yeah,
that character.
So tell me about your problems. Why are you so angry all the time?
Apparently,
I noticed you destroyed the stairs on the way up here.
Apparently, the next couple of movies coming out from Marvel in Phase 4 is going to be the Eternals. It's going to be like the new.
So they're going higher level, doing cosmic level.
Kinda. Thunderbolts.
Who are they?
They are basically a team of villains who are heroes. So Suicide Squad, but better.
Well, it couldn't be any worse.
Yeah, true. So in that you'd have Baron Zemo. You'd have Ghost, the Abomination. Apparently, these are the rumored characters for.
Is Baron Zemo not dead?
No, Baron Zemo was. Remember, he tries to kill himself, and Black Panther's like, "No, that's not happening. You're going to own your fucking mistakes." Black Panther basically arrests them at the end of.
I thought Baron Zemo was your man with the monocle at the beginning of.
Oh no, that's Strucker, Baron von Strucker.
Well, they've got the Fox merger now. They can bring in Doom. They can bring in everybody.
Yeah, but the majority of the Thunderbolts were Marvel characters. Yeah, like Baron Zemo was the leader, but he went under Citizen V, I think was the character's name. He went under a different name. Then it's revealed he's Baron Zemo. Songbird was another one. You had another Giant Man type character. A lot of characters that were on it that eventually became heroes. And then there was one point during Secret Invasion, you had Norman Osborn was the leader. Green Goblin and Venom and all them, and they eventually became so.
Is he alive in current? Is Oscorp mentioned at all?
Not that I know of. It might have been mentioned in Homecoming. I don't know, but they're not touching it yet. I'd say
stay away from it.
It'll happen eventually. It's kind of like with Marvel getting the Fox rights. If they ever do, I think they're going to wait a few years before they do an X-Men movie. Could be like Phase 5 or 6.
I've heard bad things about Dark Phoenix, man.
Oh, it's going to be shit, but that's another topic altogether. But
it's another thing to hate.
I think it's like, if you're doing the X-Men again, don't fucking do Magneto. He's had 7 or 8 movies now at this point. Do somebody else. I think that's what they're doing with Spider-Man. Well,
they tried.
We've had 2 franchises already that we've had Harry become Green Goblin, and we've had Norman. So we're going a different way. And too fucking right. The villain was the Vulture in Homecoming, and he's fantastic. And not only that, they figured out a way to get more Spider-Man villains into a movie without destroying it.
Without Spider-Man throwing it.
They had the Shocker. They had 2 versions of the Shocker in it. They had the Tinkerer in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
and they had Scorpion.
And they had Scorpion, Scorpion. So in the next one, you're going to have Mysterio. They're having these villains that haven't appeared in the movies yet, so you're getting this fresh take.
Everyone has always wanted Mysterio, though.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was our kind of review. Well, more like
congratulations if you listen to it
on Avengers Endgame. It's worth seeing, I suppose.
It's a good movie. I actually have to say, well done. Seriously, to pull that off. For people to leave the cinema to consistently go for 22 movies over 11 years and to leave the cinema happy.
Enough talk!